Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. In many modern Chinese historical dramas set in the Qing dynasty, the imperial harem of Emperor Qianlong often features a foreign concubine. She is depicted not only as possessing an extraordinary beauty and graceful figure but also as exuding an enchanting fragrance that even butterflies are drawn to. Such portrayals lead one to wonder, did such a fragrant, exotic concubine really exist in Qianlong's harem? The answer is yes. The fragrant concubine, who is often dramatized in films and TV shows, is none other than Rong Fei, Hezhuo Shi. If you have ever visited the Wuying Hall in the Forbidden City, you might have seen a unique structure with exotic characteristics, the Yuda Hall. Inside this majestic building, there is a painting of a beautiful woman by the court artist Lang Shining. And the woman in the painting is none other than the famous Fragrant Concubine. In fact, Fragrant Concubine was not her official title. The Qing Shi Gao, History of the Qing Dynasty, clearly records that her name was Rong Fei, born as Fatima, of the Hezhuo clan, also known as the Huozhuo clan. According to historical records, Rong Fei was initially appointed as Guiran, he noble lady, in the 25th year of Qianlong's reign, 1760. She was promoted to Rong Pin, Rong Concubine, in the 27th year, 1762. And eventually became Rong Fei in the 33rd year, 1768. She passed away in the 53rd year of Qianlong's reign, 1788. At the age of 54, and was buried in the Yuling Imperial tomb. As for the Fragrant Concubine, that is a poetic and dramatic moniker bestowed upon her in popular stories, poems, and performances. So, what is the true story of the legendary Fragrant Concubine in history? Rong Fei, of the Hezhuo clan, was born on the 15th day of the 9th month in the 12th year of the Yongzheng reign, October 11, 1734. The Hezhuo clan had lived in Jiaqing for generations, and she was a descendant of the famous Paiga Mubal. Rong Fei's father, Ali Hezhuo, was the 29th tribal leader of the Hezhuo family, a noble family from Xinjiang. As the daughter of a high-ranking tribal chief, how did she end up being selected to the Qing Imperial Palace, thousands of miles away? To answer this, we must first talk about the tragic marriage she endured before entering the palace. Since her childhood, Rong Fei's father had arranged a marriage for her to a man from a smaller branch of the Hezhuo clan, a union meant to strengthen the bond between the two tribes. This marriage, based on family and political interests, brought Rong Fei nothing but endless humiliation and torment. After the marriage, her husband, the young Hezhuo Mubuo Huozhijan, often humiliated her, physically abused her, and forbade her from defying him in any way. Such harsh treatment was unbearable for someone who had been raised in luxury. And she spent her days in tears. Soon, the rebellion of the Hezhuo clan broke out, with both the young Hezhuo Mubuo Huozhijan and the older Hezhuo Muboro leading an armed uprising against the Qing government in southern Xinjiang. Rong Fei's brother, Turdu, refused to join the anti-Qing forces, angering her husband, who imprisoned her as a result. Fortunately, in the 23rd year of Qianlong's reign, 1758, the Qing army launched an expedition to suppress the Hezhuo rebellion. Rong Fei's uncles, brothers, and cousins all sided with the Qing forces. With their help, the Qing army completely wiped out the rebellious Hezhuo armed forces and ended the uprising. However, during the turmoil, her husband Huozhijan was so focused on saving himself that he forgot about his wife, Rong Fei, still locked in captivity. This neglect made Rong Fei lose all hope, and after being rescued, she returned to her family. Her marriage to Huozhijan was effectively over. Afterward, the Qing court generously rewarded the Hezhuo clan for their loyalty, and in gratitude, the Hezhuo clan offered Rong Fei to Emperor Qianlong. She entered the palace and was bestowed the title of Guiran, noble lady. Clearly, this was part of the Qing dynasty's policy of political marriages, especially after Emperor Qianlong's unification of Xinjiang. However, for Rong Fei, entering the Forbidden City marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Some historians have suggested that although Emperor Qianlong initially took Hezhua as a concubine to stabilize his rule and avoid another rebellion like the previous Hezhua uprising, upon meeting her, he was captivated by her beauty, making him unable to resist her charm. In the 25th year of Qianlong's reign, Hezhua entered the palace at the age of 26. She bypassed the usual hierarchy and was directly promoted to the rank of Higuei Ren, a higher-ranking concubine, in the Imperial Harem. For this exotic woman from a distant land, Qianlong paid her special attention, even allowing her to wear her native Uyghur attire and arranging for a personal chef to cook dishes from her homeland. At 26, Hezhua was considered older, compared to the usual concubines, who were typically in their prime years between 15 and 25 when they gained favor. After 25, most concubines would gradually lose favor, and by the time they reached 30, they were often replaced by younger women and relegated to obscurity within the palace. Hezhua, however, at 26, was a second-marriage woman, yet she managed to earn Qianlong's overwhelming favor thanks to her exotic charm and beauty. After entering the palace, Hezhua was gentle, considerate, and unassertive, which endeared her to the Empress Dowager. Her filial piety and good behavior also earned her the Empress Dowager's favor. The year following Hezhua's entry to the palace, a lychee tree in the palace that had never borne fruit unexpectedly produced over 200 lychees. This auspicious event delighted both the Empress Dowager and the Emperor, and Qianlong, following the Empress Dowager's command, promoted Hezhua to the rank of Rongpin, a concubine. As depicted in various TV dramas, the Baiulu, precious moon tower, that Qianlong supposedly built for Hezhua does indeed exist, but it was not specifically constructed for her. The building was completed 2 years before Hezhua entered the palace. However, the nearby Huihui Camp and Chifu Temple, which were built by Qianlong, were indeed intended to ease Hezhua's homesickness. From Baiulu, Hezhua could view the streets filled with familiar sights and her homeland's customs, providing a sense of connection to her distant home. Throughout Qianlong's 6 southern tours, Hezhua accompanied him on 4 occasions, with her accompanying him especially during the 4th southern tour. On this trip, she was the only concubine traveling with Qianlong who held the rank of Rongpin, highlighting Qianlong's special regard for her. While traveling, Qianlong took into account Hezhua's unfamiliarity with the food and lifestyle of the water towns, so he arranged for over 80 specially prepared dishes suited to her tastes. These dishes included luxurious items such as wine-braised lamb and buttered wild duck, featuring flavors from her homeland. After this southern tour, Rongpin's favor continued to grow. And her green card, a sign of imperial favor, was replaced several times, further strengthening her position. In the 33rd year of Qianlong's reign, Rongpin was elevated to the rank of Rongfei. And she was showered with vast amounts of gold, silver, jewelry, and fine adornments. By this time, Hezhua was 32 years old, and most concubines of her age would have lost their favor due to age, but as a foreign concubine, Rongfei still held Qianlong's favor firmly. 3 years later, in the 36th year of Qianlong's reign, Qianlong traveled east with 6 of his concubines to visit Mount Tai. By this time, Empress Nala had already passed away. And Qianlong declared that he would never appoint another empress. Rongfei's status among the many concubines was now exceedingly prominent. In the 43rd year of Qianlong's reign, during his inspection of Xingjing, present-day Shenyang, Rongfei accompanied him. By this time, she had risen to the second highest rank among the imperial consorts. In the 46th year of Emperor Qianlong's reign, a banquet was held at the Old Summer Palace. By this time, Empress Dowager Yu, Consort Qing, and the Empress had all passed away. Consort Rong and Zhua Shi took their seats at the head of the table on the west side. In December of the same year, Consort Rong's position was elevated, and she moved to the second seat on the east side. At this time, Consort Rong was 47 years old, having reached the peak of her life in terms of status and honor. However, Due to health issues, Consort Rong rarely appeared in public afterward. Emperor Qianlong always privately rewarded her with gifts. During his later years, she often accompanied him. In the 53rd year of Qianlong's reign, the emperor bestowed 10 winter oranges upon her, which was the last gift he gave her. That same year, Consort Rong passed away at the Old Summer Palace at the age of 54. Some historical records note that after Consort Rong entered the palace, Emperor Qianlong took her on tours to the southern regions, climbed Mount Tai, visited Xinjing, and paid homage to the Confucian Temple. In all of her life, Consort Rong might have had only one regret, never being able to see the bright moon of her hometown again. Consort Rong's death deeply grieved the emperor, who was over 80 years old. To ensure that everyone in the palace would remember this beautiful consort from afar, Emperor Qianlong followed Consort Rong's last wishes. He distributed all her jewelry and accessories to the other consorts and princesses. This consort from the western regions left a profound mark on the emperor's later years, often causing him to shed tears. Perhaps in old age, people are often sustained by memories, remembering Consort Rong, remembering the empress. As for the cause of death of Consort Rong and Consort Xiang, there are two theories. One suggests that they were put to death by the Empress Dowager's orders, while another claims they died of natural causes. Moreover, it is said that after Consort Xiang's death, her sister-in-law escorted her body back to Kashgar for burial, a journey that took 3 years. Another version suggests that the body transported to Kashgar was a replica made by a carpenter, and the real body of Consort Xiang was secretly buried in the eastern Qing tombs by Emperor Qianlong to fulfill his wish of having a beautiful companion even after his death. In the 1990s, archaeologists opened the tomb of Consort Rong in the eastern Qing tombs. The distinct clothing of the Kuwait people and Arabic inscriptions on the coffin helped confirm her identity. Consort Rong was the only Uyghur consort in Emperor Qianlong's harem. And she was indeed the fragrant consort from the western regions, later identified as the legendary Xiang Fei. This discovery merged the historical figure of Xiang Fei with that of Consort Rong in popular legend. The secret of Consort Xiang's fragrance was also unraveled. When the coffin was opened, a distinct fragrance lingered. Not floral nor powdery, but a natural body scent, likely a result of the ethnic custom of wearing scented pouches from a young age. By comparing the remains found in the tomb, it was confirmed that the tomb's occupant had passed away in her 50s, aligning with historical records. The story that the Empress Dowager ordered Consort Xiang to be executed for her seductive powers was debunked, especially since the Empress Dowager had died in 1777, while Consort Rong passed away in 1788, making it impossible for her to have been executed by the Empress Dowager. So, what was the true cause of Consort Xiang's death? It wasn't because she transformed into a butterfly and flew away, nor did she run away from the palace to live with a lover. The official medical records from the Qing court clearly revealed the mystery of Consort Rong's death. In the 53rd year of Qianlong's reign, the same year that Consort Rong passed away, 3 medical records related to her illness were left behind. They mention that Consort Rong was treated with medicinal herbs to promote tissue healing. These medications were used to treat skin ulcers or wounds, suggesting that Consort Rong had likely been bedridden for a long time, suffering from bedsores or some skin condition. She eventually passed away at the Old Summer Palace, confirming that her death was due to illness. However, Consort Rong remains one of the most special and captivating consorts in Emperor Qianlong's harem. Her legend continues to be widely told, with various literary and cinematic works recounting her extraordinary life. People often marvel at her mysterious beauty, but few remember that she was just an ordinary girl. As a princess given in marriage to an emperor from afar, she was sent to the Forbidden City thousands of miles from her homeland, alone and without support. She faced numerous challenges, including language barriers and unfamiliar customs. Yet she adapted to palace life with resilience. Despite her favored position in the harem, and a life of relative ease, she could not escape the fate of dying far from home. Her story serves as a reminder that behind every legend lies untold hardship and challenge. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.